Hello everybody, thank you for coming and joining me. My name's Dr. Alyse Price-Tobler and I've been away for a little while, but I'm starting a new series of videos because I have a big announcement to make, which I'm pretty excited about, and I want you to know that I'm about to release the volume 3 in my series, which is called the Healing Qualia Treatment Protocol for adult child survivors of child psychological abuse related to parental alienation, familial abduction and estrangement, and sometimes also lethal family harm that goes along with this space. So I wanted to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me, because I've been away for a while and I tend to be pretty quiet because I do a lot of writing in this space. But working in child psychological abuse and about to release the textbook that I've written, which is 1,024 pages. It's written for clinicians, but it's also written for adult child survivors and any professionals within the community who may also like to have a glimpse into this world from my perspective. And my perspective comes from pretty much my whole journey, really. So I'm a clinical psychotherapist. So I work on the frontline in mental health and disabilities, and I have done for 35 plus years. This is my chosen profession, but interestingly, my work didn't really move into the child psychological abuse area until about 10 years ago. So up until then, I've been very much a frontline clinician and started out when I was 17 and 18 working as a support worker with people with disabilities and mental health challenges out in the community. And I've never left that community. They're my heart. And I absolutely love them. And I specialize, I suppose I'll talk about that a little bit. I specialize in disabilities and severe and persistent mental illness. So I work with a lot of people with huge range of disabilities, ranging from adolescents right through to the older population. Earlier, I used to work with babies and children, but I moved up really more into the adolescent and adult space. I feel like they might need some of my skills a little bit more than the younger ones. So I work in that space. I've been working in that space forever, it seems, and so for the last 10 years I've been thinking about what's happening with the adult child survivors of child psychological abuse related to parental alienation and all the different levels of complex intersecting traumas that come within that space. So originally I did a master's degree in women who were experiencing primary homelessness on the streets of Sydney, and I was out there with them for a number of months gathering all of the research and data, and they also had severe and persistent mental illness. So it was a very special cohort that I worked with through the Exodus Foundation in Sydney, and I'm very proud of the work that I did there. And then I realized that I was actually a child of parental alienation myself, which was a big shift for me and a big shift for my work. And consequently, since then, I've been thinking about the treatment, the adult child survivors, the children going through family court, what it's like for them later on down the track. And I moved into this space. So I work with parents who are targeted, and I work with adult child survivors. So because, like I said, I am one, and I'm very proud of that because it gives me a lived experience lens as well as a researcher lens as well as a clinician lens. So I have a foot in 3 different areas. So I have a little bit of a different perspective to other people. And from all of those perspectives, I developed an idea, and actually I was thinking about it, and I decided to approach several universities to see if I could start a PhD and study what the adult child survivors have been receiving for treatment with regards to child psychological abuse and parental alienation, abduction, estrangement, lethal harm potentially, familicide especially within their families. And I took a huge interest in this, and it's become my main focus for the last few years. So I got myself a PhD at University of Sunshine Coast, and I started to study it, and I began with 2 cohorts. So I basically I put out the call for adult child survivors in the severe category of parental alienation to come forward to be interviewed, and I took them in as they came through. I didn't take them on their stories. I got them through if they met the criteria that the university wanted them to meet, then they could come through onto my study. So I had all of that cohort come through, and they were from across the whole world. Then I decided to get the mental health practitioners, the best in the world, who work with the adolescent and adult child survivors, because I was very interested in what they were doing with regards to treatment. And this is a very interesting space, because for me, myself, growing up as a child of alienation, I've sat in front of quite a few psychologists and counsellors in my time and had therapy. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But what came out of the research was volume 1. So this is volume 1. This is all of the adult child survivors' data and research and what they had to say about the treatment that they had been receiving. And this is a clever cohort. I was actually quite blown away. Between them, they had 23 degrees between the lot of them. And what a lot of the information was that was coming through was that some of the clinicians that they were seeing, they actually knew more about this space than them, which was surprising. So that came through. That was a very strong theme. The other theme was that the mental health practitioners were also working really hard, doing the absolute best that they could. So I wanted to do both of the cohorts in my study. And anyway, so this is book 1. So this is my father here, and me and my siblings and my uncle. So basically I didn't see him for 23 years. This is my last contact visit with him. And so that's book 1, but it's also a combination. It's just a lot of my PhD study 1 is in this book. So then we go to study 2, which is this one. So this is a book volume 2. So this was all of the data and research that I captured from the mental health practitioners who work with the adolescent and adult child survivors of severe category parental alienation. So that was the criteria that my PhD went and was under. So this is volume 2 of the PhD, and this is my father and I after we reunited after about 23 years. So this study is very close to my heart, and these are the 2 books that I basically created from the PhD so people could look at them. And then out of the data and research that I did from my twin study PhD, I have been writing and thinking about and designing and thinking about and dreaming about and creating volume 3, which is the treatment protocol for the adult child survivors. So volume 1, I needed to listen to all of the adult child survivors who've been through what treatment they have received, what worked, what didn't, and why. And my second PhD study, like I said, was the mental health practitioners, the best in the world, what they were doing, what treatments they were using, how they thought they worked, what didn't work, and why. So I collected all of that data, and then I compared and contrasted the data between the two studies. And I basically realized that there was no protocol, no treatment protocol for these very bright clinicians to follow. And even though they were doing a lot of the pathways that were very helpful, what the data said was they weren't on the same page. So I started designing the treatment protocol because I feel like in this world, the cohort that I work with, the adult child survivors, every second counts with respect to lowering the number of suicides that are happening within this space. So I started writing volume 3, Healing Qualia, myself, and I'd like to show it to you. So I've split it into 2 books here because basically it's a lot. So I'm just going to go and grab them. Okay, so this is Healing Qualia. So this is one part of Healing Qualia. This is the first part, and the second part is this one. But they're the same book. I just couldn't get them all printed at Officeworks in the one binder. So because it's quite large, significant amount of research, significant amount of thinking, and this is my contribution to the child psychological abuse field. So on the front cover, here we are. So I've got 3 amazing pictures here that I love. So we have Dawn McCarty on the left-hand side, who's an adult child of severe level parental alienation and abduction. In the middle is myself as a 15-year-old at school. And on the right-hand side is the very amazing adult child speaker. His name is Andrew Folkler, Folkler. So the 3 of them, we work together. 3 of us, we work together, and there's more about them in the book at the back. But basically, I've named the book Healing Qualia, a clinical treatment protocol for adult survivors of child psychological abuse in the context of parental alienation, familial abduction, and estrangement, grounded in dual cohort doctoral research with survivors and specialist mental health practitioners, volume 3. So why I'm showing you this is because this is about to be published. So this is my manuscript still, and it's going to be published on the 25th of July, all fingers crossed, and hoping that everything goes well. Dawn's helping me publish it, Andrew's helping me publish it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the first treatment protocol in the world that has come from adult child survivors research from a PhD on the severe level and the mental health practitioners who've worked with them. If I'm not the first person, I'm be interested to know who it was. But anyway, there's a lot of topics in here, and I suppose if I go straight to the abstract, maybe I'll start to read out a little bit to you. And what I'm going to do in the next few series of videos is I'm going to read more and more of Healing Qualia to you so that we can get the word out there, because I actually believe And this is coming from my work, from feedback I'm being given, because I work with a lot of adult alienated children. And I actually believe that this parental alienation concept has been around for a long time now, and being a child of it and being in the family court system, I haven't seen much change in my lifetime, and I want to make a change. And I actually believe that if we teach the adult child survivors the psychoeducation around what has happened to them, and we do the healing with them, we work with them, we teach them how to move through it, they can come out the other side, we can come out the other side and change things. Because the thing is, this is child psychological abuse is a trauma that's passed down intergenerationally. And if Healing Qualia can go a small way to saving some lives, teaching the adult survivors and teaching the practitioners how to work with them, we can potentially stop it from seeping down into the next generation. Because the adult child survivors that I'm working with, and I have a lot of them, and we've been working together behind the scenes for quite a number of years while this has been in development, and they are all extremely aware now of what they've been through, what's happened to them. They're putting the pieces of the puzzles together, and they're learning how to stop passing it down to the next generation and the generation coming behind them. This is critical. If we don't teach the adult survivors how to stop it, what they've been through, and also how to move all of the psychoeducation throughout their own family systems, this will carry on. But I believe the key to actually stopping it is to train the adult child survivors, because I think the parents can go a long way to learning more about what they've been through. More empathy would be great in this space, and Healing Qualia will be I believe, a very helpful book for clinicians to read, for adult children to read, for adult children to take to their clinicians and ask them to read. They can learn it, they can go through. There's parts in here where I do talk a lot in clinician language, but there's parts in here where I actually speak one-on-one to the adult child survivors. It's very important that the lived experience is really noted in this space, because it's interesting, because half of the mental health practitioners in my study had lived experience themselves but were not willing to speak up about it, and that was very telling for me. And I think the stigma around having lived experience needs to stop. There's so many other areas in Australia where this is not going on, but it seems to be very alive and well in the child psychological abuse related to parental alienation space, where a lot of the practitioners are too scared to come out as having lived experience. Now, I am absolutely not one of them, and I don't subscribe to that. I come from a background of working with the Schizophrenia Fellowship. I was with them for a lot of years, and on their board, their charter actually says half of the people on their board need to have lived experience of severe mental illness such as schizophrenia. And they do have criteria on them. They need to be well, they need to have plans in place if they're not, and then they go and get some help for a while and then come back on the board. They need to be doing professional development. They need to be having a clear understanding of their own illness. And during conferences, the one thing that I used to look forward to the most was hearing from the people with lived experience up on the stage. The professors were great. the psychiatrists who work with them, and all of the new different techniques that they're using and medications. That's highly interesting as well, and all the new research which I was involved with at the time, as well as working across Western Sydney, so with a lot of people on the front line. The organisation's brilliant, and they had the right formula. They have a lot of lived experience up on the stage. It's the same with Suicide Prevention Australia. I've spoken with them as well previously in their conferences. We need parental alienation in this field needs to embrace lived experience and not be scared of it. So I feel like there's a lot of stigma coming, and I'm going to stand up as a lived experience clinician and own the space, because I see things through the lens of an adult child. I see things through the lens of a clinician. I see things through the lens of a researcher. So I'm pretty proud of my book, and I'm just going to pause for a second, find the abstract. Hang on. Okay, got it. Abstract. The Healing Qualia Treatment Protocol is a phase-based specialist clinical treatment protocol for adult survivors of child psychological abuse in contexts of parental alienation, familial abduction, estrangement, coercive control, forced relocation, concealment, and related family system harm. Developed for clinical practice, the protocol provides a structured, trauma-informed, non-forensic framework for working with adults whose development, identity, attachment, relational safety, and capacity to trust their own perceptions was shaped within coercive and high-conflict family systems. Organised around safety, stabilisation, meaning reconstruction, grief integration, trauma integration readiness, differentiation, and long-term adaptation, the HQTP addresses the enduring effects of developmental trauma, attachment injury, loyalty conflict, identity disturbance, affect dysregulation, epistemic injury, and prolonged relational coercion. Its primary aim is to reduce re-traumatization, minimize misdiagnosis, support careful clinical formulation, and strengthen recovery marked by greater self-coherence, stronger boundaries, improved emotional regulation, survivor autonomy, and increased capacity for reflective, reality-based, and relationally safe living. That's my abstract. So I'm going to stop it here because we're on nearly 24 minutes, and I'm going to put this up on YouTube, and then my next video I'll be talking about some of the subjects in the table of contents, which is a pretty long table of contents because I covered as many subjects as I could possibly think of. And I'm hoping and praying that this manual, this protocol, is going to be a very, very helpful resource for clinicians out there and for adult child survivors as well, who will be working with Healing Qualia. So until my next video, go gently, everybody. Thank you so much if you've watched all the way to the end, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.